Hello and welcome everybody to Bedford High School Stadium on this sunny Wednesday as we get ready for quarterfinal action Division I NHIAA contest between the Bulldogs of Bedford, the number 3 seed going into this tournament, and the number 6 seed Exeter. And the official will set up the face-off. In girls lacrosse, the official usually balances the ball between the two girls' sticks and tries to ensure that it's a perfectly fair face-off. And here we go. Off the face-off, ball is loose, recovered by Exeter. Number 15, Devin Coviello, brings it into the offensive zone for the Blue Hawks. And they set up the perimeter. Ray Neal with the ball, sends it behind the net. Jen Rogers with it. Passes it off to Alyssa Peets. Back to Ray Neal, still behind the goal, looking for somebody to center it to. And there's a pass and a shot and a goal right there. Carly Pierce getting Exeter on the board just 40 seconds into the game.
Exeter by number 34, Carly Pierce. Assistant number 7, Ray Neal.
That was a great centering pass there by Ray Neal to set up Pierce for the first goal. So the Bulldogs find themselves down 1 goal. Just 20 seconds into the, or 40 seconds I should say, into the first half. And the face-off once again, Sydney Lynch. The official sets the ball between the two players. Up, and there was a foul there by number 10. That was Allison Kelly for Exeter. That creates a turnover, and Bedford takes over the control of the ball. Sydney Lynch brings it into the offensive zone. Still with it. Sends it over to Mackenzie McEachern. And now over to Mackenzie Chow. Or Chu, I should say. Get that correct. And the official calls a foul and restart. Pass down the middle. There's a shot just wide. That shot there by Hannah McCarthy goes wide of the Exeter net. But Bedford retains possession. Emily O'Keefe restarts play. Should say it's Courtney Dermody. Gets it up to Hannah McCarthy. Hannah still with the ball. Being guarded, tries to get through 2 players and sends a shot into the net, beating goaltender Tanner Schlossberg. And just like that, the game is tied at the 23-23 mark of the first period.
13 with a goal. Bedford goal by number 13, Hannah McCarthy, unassisted.
So just like that, we are tied up once again, and we're ready for another face-off. Number 11, Jen Rogers, is set to take this face-off against number 30, Sydney Lynch, once again for Bedford. The official sets up the face-off. Blows the whistle. Ball recovered by Exeter. Comes loose, and Bedford takes it away. Mackenzie McEachern coming the other way across midfield. Sets up the offense. Pulls back. Gets a pass over to Lynch. Lynch with the ball. Tries to move in. Centering pass and shot and goal to number 17, Chamberlain Bell. So Bell gives Bedford the lead here at the 22:55 mark. Lynch with the assist there. So a lot of scoring so far here in the first quarter. Just a few minutes into the game, about 2 minutes and 5 seconds, we've had 3 goals already. Exeter lines up for the faceoff. Jen Rogers takes it again against Lynch. The official sets up the faceoff, blows the whistle, and the ball comes free. Looks like Bedford's Mackenzie McEachern picks it up and has control in the offensive zone. Gets away from one defender, sends it down low to Brooke Burden. Burden behind the net now to Hannah McCarthy. Back up to McEachern. Or I should say that's Rachel Noble with the ball. Centering pass and a shot and a goal. Number 11, Mackenzie Chu, gives Bedford the 3-1 lead. 3 straight goals now. So the Bulldogs are up 3 after giving up the opening goal. Just 22-22 of the first.
Assist number 23, Courtney Germany.
A high-scoring affair so far between the Blue Hawks and the Bulldogs. On the face-off once again is Lynch for Bedford. The official sets it up. And the ball comes loose, rolling toward the Exeter end, but it's picked up by Jen Rogers of Exeter. Gets it back to her defender, Phoebe Tyler. She loses control of the ball, but picks it up and now sends it back up. And Exeter brings it out over the midfield stripe. Ball's loose, picked up again there by Elise Cannon. She loses it. And Hannah McCarthy has it for Bedford, coming the other way into the offensive zone. She pulls up, waits for her teammates to set up. Pass now to Chamberlain Bell, who's got a goal so far. Now over to Mackenzie Chu. Mackenzie takes her time, waits for the play to develop. Chu still with the ball, gets it to Lynch. Lynch tries to cut in. Now pulls back, and we have an official calling a foul. It's going to be a restart. A free shot for Chu, or for Lynch, I should say. There's a shot, and bounces and goes wide, but Bedford's going to retain possession, as Hannah McCarthy was the closest to the out-of-bounds ball. Courtney Dermody now with it. Over to Brooke Burden, still behind the net, looking for a centering opportunity. She cuts in, gets a shot, it's saved. And what do we have here? A foul on Exeter. It looked like it's going to be another free shot there for number 6, Brooke Burden. She's got a clear shot on the net. See if she can beat Schlossberg here. Takes a shot, and that was deflected partially by number 23, Elise Cannon of Exeter. So no harm on that foul, but Bedford will retain possession. 20:17 left in the first half. Bulldogs up by a score of 3-1. Mackenzie Chu makes the pass, still has the ball, considers making a pass, but instead pulls up, waits for her teammates to set up the offense. Chamberlain Bell down low to the left of the Exeter net. She drops it back to Chu. Chu decides to break in, then pulls up, and we have a high sticking foul. A restart for Bedford. Chu will have it, coming in from the left of goaltender Schlossberg. Chu decides to pass it down low. Another restart here, another foul. This time it's going to be Courtney Dermody. On the restart. And she takes a shot down low. It's saved by Schlossberg. Ball is loose, and there's a rebound. Some words exchanged there. But number 13, Hannah McCarthy, gets another goal for the Bulldogs. They've scored 4 straight.
Bedford goal line number 13, Hannah McCarthy, unassisted.
So an unassisted goal, her second. Hannah McCarthy, number 13, gives the Bulldogs a 3-goal lead with 19:03 remaining in the first half. This is the Division I quarterfinal girls lacrosse matchup between the number 6 seed Exeter and number 3 seed Bulldogs. Face off once again between Lynch and Rogers of Exeter. These officials take great pains to make sure the face-off is even. Ball pops up, and it's picked up by Carly Pierce of Exeter. She brings it into the attack zone. Her shot, actually more like a loose ball, gets away from her, but it's picked up by Exeter down deep in the zone. Sydney Taylor with it. She gets fouled, so there'll be a restart for Taylor. And the pass goes over to number 10, Allison Kelly. She gets it up high. And then over to Dakota Markey for the Blue Hawks. Jen Rogers with it, pulls up, looks for an opening, passes it off to Dakota Markey. McCarty now pulls up, tries to get a pass and does. And it looks like we're going to have a foul there on Carly Pierce. She'll have a restart on goal of Bedford. Pierce takes a shot, and it's wide. And it looks like it's going to be Exeter ball there, although it looked like a Bedford player was fairly close. But Exeter will retain the possession there. On the restart, ball goes over to Kelly. Still with it. Kelly tries to move in, tries to beat the defender, still with it, then pulls up, waiting for an opportunity. Behind the net to Dishart, and over to Rogers behind the goal. She comes out in front, being watched there by Victoria Pratt of Bedford. With the ball right there, that's Carly Pierce. She gets pushed away. Bedford slams the door on Pierce there. Now tries again, loses the ball, but picks it up again. Looks like it's going to be a foul anyway. So Pierce will have a clean restart on the Bedford goal. There's a shot and goal. It beats Paradis. So on the restart, Pierce with the goal.
Exeter goal line number 34, Carly Pierce, unassisted.
So off the restart at 16:39 of the first, Carly Pierce cuts the Bedford lead by a goal. It's now 4-2. Bulldogs ahead here in this quarterfinal. These two teams did meet earlier in the year, back on April 26th, here on this very same field. And the Bulldogs won that one 17-9. So it's Lynch once again against Rogers. Lynch gets her own rebound, or her own face-off. Long pass is fumbled away, and it's picked up by Schlossberg, the Exeter goaltender. And the Blue Hawks take possession back. Another loose ball, picked up by Mary Kyle. Bedford back in control. Mackenzie McEachern. Pass over to Chu. Chu still with it. Gets it over to McEachern. Now to Hannah McCarthy. And McCarthy gets it to Bell. Behind the net now. Riley Chu sends it across to Brooke Burden. Burden trying to look for an outlet. Up to Hannah McCarthy up high. McCarthy trying to find an opening. Gets it to McEachern. McEachern is checked. And yep, they're going to call a stick check there, and it'll be a free start for McEachern. About 10 yards in front of the Exeter goal. Make that number 17, Bell. No, McEachern. McEachern will have that chance. She'll be about 12 yards away. McEachern's shot. Saved momentarily by Schlossberg, but it got away from her and went into the net. So McEachern responds to the Exeter goal with one of her own off this restart. With 15:06 remaining in the first quarter, it's now 5-2 Bulldogs. It's got to be frustrating for a goaltender like Schlossberg, making the save and then losing control of the rebound. This time Zoe Michaud is going to take the face-off. Number 34 for Bedford at the midfield stripe. Off the face-off, Exeter picks it up. Number 11, Jen Rogers, brings it into the offensive end of the Blue Hawks. Down the sideline. Sends it back to Allison Kelly. Across to Ray Neal. Neal to Anna Dishart. Behind the net, Peets. Back up now to Rogers. Rogers pulls back, tries to set the offense. Ray Neal now being guarded by two Bulldogs, looking for a lane. Now centering pass broken up by Bedford. They pick up the loose ball, and they're going to call Exeter with the foul. So Bedford retains control, and they restart. Zoe Michaud still with it. Pass up to Riley Chu. Loses it momentarily and turns it over to Exeter. Pierce gets away from defenders, brings it in. Cross pass to Kelly. Kelly being harassed. Gets it down to Sydney Taylor. Sydney Taylor tries to break up in front of the net, and she's fouled. And she'll have a clean shot on goal against Paradis here, about 10 yards away. Number 8, Taylor on the penalty. Takes a shot down low. A save by Paradis. Nice. Taylor tried to go for the 5-hole. Paradis got the stick down and made the save. That keeps the score 5-2 with 12:55 remaining here in the first half. Into the Exeter end is Brooke Burden. She's being guarded. Gets it over to Riley Chu. Back to Burden. Now up to Hannah McCarthy. McEachern. Back to Brooke Burden. Bulldogs taking their time, looking for their opening. Pass down low to Bell. Bell's behind the net. Gets it over to Burden, who loses control momentarily, but picks it up before it goes out of bounds. So Bedford retains control. There's a pass too far. And heading out of bounds, held in there very nicely, and then out of bounds by Riley Chu, who almost was able to come up with that, kept the ball from going out of bounds, but instead lost control, and it's now the Exeter Blue Hawks ball. Ray Neal now surrounded by Bulldogs. Her pass goes off a stick and it's picked up by Emily O'Keefe. Bedford comes back the other way. Burden slows up, waits for her teammates to catch up. Now McEachern. Pass over to Chu, Mackenzie Chu. She has it. Moves across. Centering pass to Lynch. And there's going to be a call there. So Sydney Lynch is going to have a chance on the restart. About 15 yards from the net. Moves in. Takes a shot. Blocked momentarily, and the rebound picked up by Riley Chu, and she puts it away to give Bedford their 6th goal. Riley Chu off a penalty restart from Lynch.
Goal line number 7, Riley Chu.
It's a 6-2 game now with 10:48 remaining in the first quarter. We'll have to wait and see if there'll be a timeout called by Exeter coach Courtney Pranetta. Try to get the team refocused here before it gets too far away from them. Lynch on the face-off. The official sets it up. Got to make it just so. Pop up. Ball's loose. Still loose. Finally picked up by Pierce of Exeter. Into the offensive zone. She charges. Now pulls up. That's Jen Rogers, actually. Now Pierce with the ball. Tries to move in and gets stick fouled there by Lynch. She'll have a restart on net about 15 yards away. The official still holding off. Now blows the whistle. Here comes Pierce. Takes the pass. A little too high there. Could have been a great opportunity there to Sydney Taylor, but she had to jump up to get control of the ball, and now Exeter has to reset on the offense. Jen Rogers picks up the loose ball and brings it in. Tries to get around a defender. Instead goes behind the net. Pass behind the net to Pierce. Pierce being guarded by Mackenzie McEachern and couldn't get a shot off there, but drew a foul. So Pierce is going to have a restart here. Paradis ready with the stick. Here comes Pierce. Moves in, shot, and scores. Beats Paradis. So on the penalty restart, Pierce with the goal. Makes it a 6-3 game. That's Pierce's 2nd goal of the game. She opened the scoring. Actually, I take that back. It's her 3rd goal. She got the. She actually had scored all 3 of Exeter's goals. Well, there you go. So Pierce doing her part to keep the Blue Hawks in this game, providing all the offense. On the face-off now, Hannah McCarthy will take it for Bedford. Ball is up and picked up by McCarthy. Brings it into the zone. Charging in. Gets stick checked. No call. Ball is still loose. Still loose. Bedford finally comes up with it. That was Lynch with the loose ball recovery. Courtney Dermody behind the net settles down the Bedford offense. Dermody back to Lynch behind the net. Lynch tries to cut up. Now retreats. Gets it across, centering past him. McEachern, beautiful pass and goal by McEachern. And the Bulldogs respond with a goal. So McEachern now with her second goal.
Assist number 7 for Riley Chu.
Riley Chu helped out there with a terrific centering pass. And with 8:42 left to play, Bulldogs are back to a 4-goal lead. The official brings the ball to midfield. And there's the timeout. We were expecting this to happen, and I believe it was Exeter. Yes, Exeter coach Courtney Pernetta decides to call the team back to get their strategy worked out here. Trailing by 4 goals with 8:42 remaining in the first period. Quick scoring recap. Exeter drew first blood just 40 seconds into the game. That was number 34, Carly Pierce, who has scored all 3 goals for Exeter, but since then, Bedford responded with 4 straight, including 2 by Anna Dishart, and also a pair from Mackenzie McEachern. Seven-3's your score. These are the quarterfinals, and the only game being played on the home field of the higher seed next week, or this Saturday, I should say, will be the semifinal, and that'll take place at Exeter's home field, Bill Ball Stadium. And the winner of this contest will face either Souhegan, the number 2 seed, or Nashua South at number 7. It is spring tournament season here in New Hampshire, and the Bulldogs have several contests going on, including one at Pinkerton, the softball preliminary round. Bulldogs taking on the Astros right about the same time here down in Derry. This Saturday will be the first baseball game for the boys. They are the number 1 seed and have a bye. And they will take on either Timberlane or Salem, depending on what team comes out on top today. They're playing their preliminary round. I believe they're in Timberlane. They're in Plastow right now playing that game. And don't forget that both Bedford 105.1 and BCTV 23 will be bringing you many of the games, as many as possible. The next radio game will be this Saturday, that very same quarterfinal baseball game from SAU Field. Kind of a lengthy timeout here. Taking quite a while for the team to get back on the field. Exeter looks like they're about to break their huddle, and they do. McCarthy awaits at midfield. Looks like number 7, Ray Neal, will be the Exeter face-off lady. And the officials are about to set up the face-off between Neal and McCarthy. The whistle blows up, looks like a false start, and the official will call Exeter ball. So a foul there on the face-off by McCarthy. Neal has it. at the midfield stripe and ready to begin. Pass over to Jen Rogers. Pulls off a little bit. Gets it back to Dakota Markey. Markey loses the ball momentarily, picks up the loose ball. And then Rogers has it on the pass. She cuts across, looking for a lane. Centering pass, momentarily lost, and down goes Carly Pierce, losing the ball and her footing. And it looks like it'll be a foul, and Pierce will have another opportunity on a restart. And a yellow card is called on number 11 for Bedford. That's Mackenzie Chu. She goes to the sideline. So Mackenzie Chu gets the yellow card for the collision with Carly Pierce of Exeter. And Pierce will have a restart about 8 yards away from the Bedford net. Pierce responsible for all the scoring for the Blue Hawks, with an opportunity to get her fourth goal and to bring the Blue Hawks back to within 3. It's 7-3, 8:12 remaining in the first half. On the restart, Pierce comes in, and beautifully, Hannah Paradis, gets the stick in the way and saves a goal right there. Nice save there by Paradis. Pierce tried to pull a few stick fakes, but Paradise was having none of that. Now Exeter recovers the loose ball, takes a low shot, that goes wide of the net. And Exeter's going to retain possession as Jen Rogers chases it down for the Blue Hawks. So Rogers now on the restart behind the net, looking for a centering opportunity, and instead gets it over to Dishart. Shot right there, save, another save by Paradis. That's 2 in a row for the Bedford keeper. Her pass, however, gets away from everybody and is loose. Finally picked up. The official blows their whistle and says there was contact made there. So Exeter will retain control. Alyssa Peets restarts. Sends it over to Pierce, who's being watched by Victoria Pratt. Little contact foul there, so Pierce will have another restart. Another chance on goal on Paradis. The shot down low. Little too much bounce there in front of the goalkeeper, and instead bounces over the net. Exeter, though, retains possession. Dishart with the ball. Gets it over to Ray Neal. Back to Dishart, and a shot is wide. But Exeter is there to retain possession. Jen Rogers picks it up and is about to restart. Actually, that was Peets on the restart. Rogers with the ball tries to get a shot off, but she's defended. Tries to get a pass over to Peets. Too far, that ball's loose. And this time, possession will go to Bedford, as the ball goes off of Peets on a high pass from Rogers. So the long breakout pass there to Mackenzie Chu. Another pass goes loose, almost out of bounds, but picked up by Riley Chu. So Bedford retains control. Chu breaks in and now pulls back to reset the Bedford offense. Mackenzie McEacher now. Pass across to Hannah McCarthy. Now Mackenzie Chu with it. Back to McEachern. McEachern tries to get away, looking for an opening. There's a shot by Mackenzie Chu. That goes Wide of the net, but Bedford picks it up loose. Sister Riley Chu has it. Now drops it off to Brooke Burden. Burden behind the net. Being watched by Schlossberg. Hannah McCarthy comes out, then pulls back. Back to Riley Chu behind the net. Looking for an opening. There's a centering pass, shot, and save. McEachern tried to take a quick shot off that centering pass from Chu, but Schlossberg had the stick in the way. But we have a call here on the official, calling it a restart and a goal for Bedford. Mackenzie Chu on a pass from Mackenzie McEachern. Puts the Bulldogs up by 5. Score of 8-3. So 4:06 remaining.
Bedford goal line number 11, Mackenzie Chu. Assist number 4, Mackenzie McEachern.
That is the second goal by Mackenzie Chu. And Bedford has a 5-goal lead now. Their largest of the game with 4:06 remaining in this first half. So McCarthy there on the face-off. Ball comes out. And Mackenzie Chu picks up the loose ball, but a foul is called. And she will retain possession. So Chu on the restart with McCarthy to her side, brings the ball into the offensive zone, drops it back to Dermody. Dermody still with it. Then over to Burton behind the goal. Burton centers to Hannah McCarthy. Tries to get a shot off, but instead will get a restart. McCarthy comes in, cuts across, and decides to pull back. We get another contact foul. So McCarthy will have another chance about 13 yards away. Comes in, takes a shot. That's blocked. That was blocked by somebody. It might have been number 23, Elise Cannon. And Schlossberg picks up the loose ball. 2:44 remaining here in the first quarter. Schlossberg almost waited too long. Almost got poke checked there by McCarthy. But instead, here comes number 13, Dishart for Exeter. Or Coviello, I should say. Now the pass across to Peets. She's coming in, looking for a lane. Tries to get by two defenders. Instead, the collision will draw a restart for Peets. And off the restart, Peets moves in, takes a shot high, and gets it just under the crossbar. So great goal there by Peets. Makes it 8-5. 8-4, I should say.
Extra goal line number 8, Sydney Taylor.
Correction there on my part. Number 8, Sydney Taylor with that goal on the restart. And an 8-4 lead now for Bedford with 1:55 remaining in the first quarter. So McCarthy lines up on the face-off. And the whistle blows. Carly Pierce was on that face-off for Exeter. but McCarthy picks up the loose ball and brings it into the Exeter end. Moving in, and then pulling back, centering pass, shot and goal. Beautiful pass to Sydney Lynch, who answers with a goal. So that makes it 9-4 now, Bedford, 1:42 remaining in the first quarter.
Bedford goal line number 30, Sydney Lynch. Assist number 13, Hannah McCarthy.
Good stick work there by Hannah McCarthy to pick up the loose ball right off her own face-off, and then charging in on goal, drawing the attention of the Blue Hawk defenders, who left Lynch alone, and the pass over to her, and she was able to put that away to give Bedford a 5-goal lead, 9-4, with 1:42 to play. McCarthy once again on the face-off. Loose ball. Pierce picks it up for Exeter. She gets around the Bedford defender, brings it into the Bulldog end, loses her footing. We'll see if that's a call. No, it isn't. Number 8. Keep thinking it's a number 2. Sydney Taylor behind the net. Tries to break out, decides to pull back to Pierce. Pierce, ball gets away from her momentarily, picks it up and then draws a foul. Or did she? Nope, it's going to go to Bedford. Apparently it's something that Pierce did that the officials didn't like. So Bedford will take over control with 1:17 remaining in the first half. Paradis gets it up to number 3. That's Grace Ann Rooney. Loses it. Exeter comes back the other way. Dishart. She gets pushed over, and she'll probably have a restart right there about 7 yards away. Lynch drawing that foul. So Dishart against Paradis here. Comes in, takes a shot, and scores. So Anna Dishart makes it 9-5. Bedford still in the lead. That goal coming with 56 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Come on, Ray.
And we'll have another face-off at midfield. Fairly high-scoring contest so far. 14 goals between the two teams. It'll be McCarthy against Ray, I believe. Ray Neal. The official very carefully setting up the face-off. Ball's up in the air. Looks like Pierce for Exeter is going to come up with it and brings it into the Bedford end. Dishes it off to Jen Rogers. Now to Ray Neal. Neal being watched. Gets into a bit of a pickle. Ball comes loose. Still loose. Possession will go back to Bedford. Zoe Michaud along the sideline beats one defender, crosses midfield, being watched by Jen Rogers, still with the ball, finally passes it over to McCarthy. McCarthy has some room to operate, gets checked, still with it, now decides to pull off. She's triple teamed, gets a pass over to Lynch, and Lynch draws a foul from Neal. Then we'll have a restart with just 1.3 seconds remaining. Kind of an untimely foul there by Neal. So Lynch, about 15 yards away, pass and shot. Score that's going to count. Dermody with the last second goal there as time expired.
Bedford goal line number 23, Courtney Dermody. Assistant number 30, Sydney Lynch.
So kind of a gutsy call there by Lynch to make the pass instead of taking the shot directly with only 1.3 seconds remaining, but she had just enough time to get it to her partner, Dermody. And just like that, the Bulldogs will go into halftime with a 5-goal lead. It's 10-5. And we're going to take a break and come back with second half action. You're watching BCTV Girls Quarterfinal Division I Lacrosse action. And we're back for second half action between the Blue Hawks and the Bulldogs. Bulldogs with a 10-5 lead. And 25 minutes to go before a trip to the semifinals in Exeter at Bilbao Stadium. Carly Pierce with 3 goals for the Blue Hawks, while Hannah McCarthy leads the way with 3 for the Bulldogs. McCarthy on the face-off. Bulldogs now going from left to right. And the second half is on their way. Loose ball, McCarthy comes up with the loose one again. She's done that several times on face-offs. And we have a call here from the official. A chop called on Exeter. So McCarthy will have the restart. Decides to pull up, gets away from one defender, pulls back even further to reset the offense. McEachern. Back to McCarthy. Bulldogs taking their time here with a 5-goal lead. McCarthy gets pushed down. Pierce, the offending player for the Blue Hawks. That'll give McCarthy a shot at the net from about 10 yards away on the restart and a chance to maybe get a 4th goal and give the Bulldogs a 6-goal lead. On the restart, there's a shot. That goes wide. I think Schlossberg might have got a piece of that. But Dermody was on the spot to retain possession for the Bulldogs. Now Burton behind the net. Looking for an outlet pass. Burton still with it. Gets it across to McCarthy. Back to Burton. Or I'm sorry, not Burton. That is number 11, Mackenzie Chu. And we have a whistle. And another restart attempt here about 15 yards away. McCarthy will have another chance on net. Comes in, shot, and scores on the restart. Or did the official wave that off? Well, the official apparently didn't give her the go-ahead, so she'll have a chance to do it again. McCarthy on the restart. Official still holding off here. Here she comes. There's a shot and scores again. So she does it twice. Her 4th goal at 22:55 remaining in the second quarter.
13, Hannah McCarthy.
McCarthy scoring her 4th. Having a great game scoring and on the offense, on the face-off, I should say. She's been very good at not only winning those face-offs, but controlling the loose ball. So McCartney will face off against Neal, Ray Neal. Bulldogs up 6, 11-5. Setting up the face-off. Ball comes loose and goes right over to number 11, Mackenzie Chu. She picks it up. She gives it over to McCarthy. McCarthy pass down low and a score by Dermody. Two quick goals for Bedford. Up 7 now.
Bedford goal by number 23, Courtney Dermody. Assistant number 13, Hannah McCarthy.
McCarthy with the heads-up play there, finding Dermody all alone in front of the Exeter goal, got the pass down low, and Dermody was able to score just 11 seconds or 10 seconds after the goal by McCarthy. So two quick ones puts Bedford up by 7. Face off again between Ray Neal and McCarthy. The ball pops up. McCarthy tries to get it, but it's loose. Almost picked up by Exeter, but McCarthy gets it anyway, and she gets stick checked, and the officials are going to call that. They caught that one. So McCarthy will retain possession for the Bulldogs. This is not like boys lacrosse. You can't use your stick as freely as you can in the boys game. Of course, the ladies wear a lot less equipment, so obviously safety is a concern. On the restart, McCarthy loses the ball, and Pierce picks it up for Exeter and brings it into the Bedford end. She gets taken down. No call, though. Sydney Taylor has it for Exeter. She's being guarded by McEacher and decides to take it behind the net and reset the offense. Taylor across to McAvery, or to Peets. Peets brings it up. Being watched closely, gets it back down low to Taylor. Now Peets again behind the net. Up high to Rogers. Back to Rogers now. Moves in. Tries to get a shot across. Gets it down low to Pierce. Pierce loses the ball. And it's picked up by Bedford. Here comes Zoe Michaud. Pass up now to Burden. Burden along the sideline, bringing it into the Exeter end. Slows it down, gets the ball back to Bell. Back down to Burden, down low. On the far left side. And now behind the Exeter net. Burden slowing things up. Passes up to Bell. Bell moving across. Now Dermody tries to get in, tries to find a lane, can't quite do that. Lynch now with the ball. Also trying to find a shooting lane, gets it down low. Oh, and a shot off the crossbar, off the goalpost by Dermody. Great opportunity there, just missed an opportunity to get another goal for Bedford. But instead the officials call a restart on the play. About 15 yards away. And we get another whistle here. That's number 17, Bell, on the restart attempt. That's the second time the officials have blown off a restart. Bell with the shot, and a save by Schlossberg. Loose ball. It's picked up by Exeter. Devin Coviello. Being watched by McEacher and tries to get away. Finally, a long lead pass up the sideline. And now the ball goes over to Jen Rogers, who brings it into the offensive end. Rogers runs into a wall of Bulldogs, decides to pull up. Gets it over to Neal. Neal assessing the situation, looking for an opening. Neal still with the ball and draws a foul. She'll get a restart. About 17 yards from the Bedford net. Neal comes in, takes a shot down low, saved by Paradis, and the loose ball is picked up by Bedford. McEacher finds the lead pass up to number 11, Mackenzie Chu. Pass down low to Dermody and scores. Dermody with another goal at the 18-20 mark of the second. Second goal in a row and the third straight to start the second half here for Dermody. It's now 13-5 Bulldogs as they keep pulling away and adding to the lead. And Exeter doesn't seem to have an answer for that. There's some kind of defensive breakdown there. Two goals in a row where they left Dermody all alone in tight to the goaltender Tanner Schlossberg. Kind of helpless right there when you have somebody at point-blank range. So now Lynch is on the face-off, taking over for McCarthy. As the official sets up the face-off. The two players opposing each other as opposed to pointing in the same direction. The loose ball, still loose, bouncing around. And Exeter comes up with it. Dakota Markey runs into a Bulldog. We'll see what the call is here. Looks like it's going to be a yellow card on Bedford. We'll see what player gets. No, it's going to be on Markey. And Markey ran into that crowd, and it looked like she was fouled, but really she kind of brought the contact on by herself, and she gets called for it. So Bell will restart for Bedford. Waiting for the okay from the officials, and here we go. Into the Exeter zone, Bell with it. Across to Lynch. To Mackenzie Chu. McEachern. And Riley Chu back to McEachern. Lynch with it again. Bedford taking their time with an 8-goal lead. McEachern. Chu. Back to McEachern. Bedford really no need to rush here. They've got the lead. Time is on their side with 17:29 remaining. Ball comes loose momentarily, but Riley Chu picks it up. Now Dermody. Back to Riley Chu. Dermody again. Takes it down low behind the net. That's Madison Graves with it. Getting some playing time in this game. Centering pass to McEachern from Mackenzie Chu. Now Mackenzie Chu has it again. McEachern couldn't get the shot away. Chamberlain, Bell, looking for an opening. Back up high to Riley Chu. Chu waiting for a pass. Back over to Bell. Bell looking for a chance. Taking her time, and we have official's whistle. And a restart at a sharp angle, but fairly close for Bell against Schlossberg, number 77. Bell decides to pull away and continue the Bedford possession instead of taking the shot. Now Mackenzie Chu with it along the goal line, brings it out. Centering pass and a shot. Good save there by Schlossberg on Lynch to keep it 13-5. Now pass from Schlossberg is muffed and picked up by Bedford, and on that turnover, Madison Graves puts it away. So a costly error there by the Exeter goaltender, Schlossberg. Graves takes advantage, picks it up, comes in all alone. And makes it now 14-5, 9-goal lead with 15:52 remaining in the game. Things are looking a little dire right now for the Blue Hawks. They need to turn things around and come up with an answer. 4 straight goals by Bedford in this half. And 5 straight if you go back to the soul-crushing goal they gave up with time expiring in the first half of the game. Ray Neal for Exeter on the face-off against Lynch. Bedford comes up with it. That's Mackenzie McEachern driving in to goal. Looks like she's got a lane and a shot and a score. Just like that. Breakaway goal for McEachern. And the points keep piling up for the Bulldogs. Now 15-5. McEachern picking up the loose ball on the face-off. So we're going to be in run time now here. As the scoreboard operator has notified us, a 10-goal lead will result in running time. So the clock ticking away even quicker now on the Exeter season if they don't turn things around here. Ray Neal and Sydney Lynch set up for the face-off, both facing the same direction. Ball pops up, and it's picked up by Pierce of Exeter. Passes over to Jen Rogers, brings it into the Bedford end. Rogers closing in, tries to get past the defender, winds up losing the ball, but they're going to call a blocking foul and give Rogers a restart. At about 10 yards away, or make that maybe, we'll call that a 12-yard distance from the net. More or less dead on. So Jen Rogers with an opportunity here to cut the Bedford lead some. And the shot down low, saved by Paradis, but the ball comes loose. Luckily, Bedford comes up with the loose ball. Good rebound control here by the Bulldogs. Number 3, Grace Ann Rooney picks it up. Coach Hodson giving some of her bench players some playoff time. So Rooney brings it up. Gets by a few Exeter defenders, runs out of real estate. Now gets the shot, pass over to, let me catch that number. That is Dermody. Dermody's pass to Riley Chu. To Sister Mackenzie. Comes close, then pulls off. Now Lynch with it. Same thing, pulls away from the defender. Riley Chu now. Tries to cut across. Draws the attention of the Exeter defenders. And she's fouled. So we'll have a restart right there at about the 15-yard mark. 13-14 remaining in the game. 15-5 is your score. Bulldogs in the lead. Now Riley Chu with a chance. She passes it off to McCarthy. She's got 4 goals in this game already. McCarthy draws contact. We'll have another restart. And McCarthy will have a chance at about the 13-yard mark from the net. We'll see if she passes here, and she does. Gets it over to Lynch. Lynch's shot off the goal. No, it's a goal. I thought it hit the goal post. That one went in. So Lynch with the goal on the restart there by McCarthy. And the lead is 11 for the Bulldogs. 16-5. With 12:17 remaining in the game. That's the 7th goal in a row for the Bulldogs, 6th one in this half. Blanking the Blue Hawks 6-0 so far in the second half. And the clock ticks away. We are in run time now, 11:59. And the Blue Hawks don't seem to be in any hurry here to get going. So we're having a face-off, or aren't we? It looks like they're just awarding the ball to Bedford. Not clear as to why that happened. So Lynch, McEachern takes it on the start. Now over to Lynch. Pass over to Riley Chu. Back up to Lynch. Lynch being guarded by Pierce. Pass to Bell, gets away from her and is heading for the out-of-bounds line and does too far. Exeter will take over. Kirsten Johansson for the Blue Hawks restarts. Pass up to her teammate, and now it goes up to number 10, Allison Kelly. Long pass for Peets, too far. That looks like it's heading for the out-of-bounds. Not quite. Peets is able to save it, but then turns it over. So it'll be Bedford ball. Victoria Pratt in the game for the Bulldogs. Coming up the sideline, being watched by Peets, gets by her. Still with it, into Exeter territory. Pratt gets contact from Jen Rogers. It'll be a restart for the Bulldogs. 10:27 remaining, run time, 16-5, Bulldogs ahead by 11. Now Pratt, up to Bell. Bell loses the ball momentarily, recovers it, being swarmed by defenders, but Lynch is there for Bedford to pick it up. Gets it up to Riley Chu. A pass over to Dermody, back to Chu. Chu being watched and draws contact from Elise Cannon of Exeter. We'll have a restart. And we've got a stoppage here momentarily. We'll see what it is. As the officials confer here. Not sure if it was a foul on Elise Cannon. Possibly. She did head for the sideline. Might be some kind of penalty. Yes, it is. It's the yellow card for, I guess, for an aggressive contact. That's the first yellow card on the Blue Hawks today. Bedford has 2. As officials make notes on the foul, McEachern is waiting to start over. O'Reilly Chu actually has the ball. So the Blue Hawks will be shorthanded here for a little while. We're at the 9:46 mark. The officials have stopped the clock, otherwise we'd be in run time as we work out the yellow card situation on Exeter. And we're about to begin. Chu gets it over to McEachern. McEachern assessing the situation, looking for an opening, moves across, then cuts back. Pass down low, and a shot and a score by McCarthy, her 5th goal. At the 9:24 mark, it's 17-5.
Assistant number 4, Mackenzie McEachern.
Yeah, as you heard there, McEachern with the assist on that goal. Last time these teams met in regular season, it was a 17-9 win for the Bulldogs. Bedford's already hit the 17 mark with about 9 minutes to go. 17-5. On the face-off, McCarthy picks up the loose ball and brings it into Exeter territory. Pass up to Riley Chu. Down low to Dermody, we get a whistle. Clock is still ticking though. 8:20 remaining. So now the restart will begin with Dermody behind the goal. Dermody drops it over to Graves. Back to Graves still has it. Centering pass. And a shot. And a goal. Number 11, Mackenzie Chu.
Bedford goal line number 11, Mackenzie Chu. Assist number 42, Madison Graves.
And that is Chu's third goal on the game, making it 18-5. Bulldogs are running away with this one. Just 7:29 remaining in the game, and it looks like the Bulldogs will be advancing to the semifinal round. They'll be taking on either number 2 Souhegan or number 7 Nashua South on Saturday. So off the face-off, that was McEachern. Loose ball picked up by Sabati of Bedford. She gets fouled and gets a restart. So Sabati runs into Pierce and Neal, loses the ball. Pierce picks it up for Exeter and comes back the other way. Here comes Pierce, still with it, trying to carry it in all the way, winds up losing it, but the officials are going to call a stick check and she will get a restart. About 12 yards away from the Bedford goal. Make that Elise Cannon, or 34, no, I'm sorry, that is Carly Pierce. And she scores, finally breaking the streak of Bedford goals. And I believe that is the fourth goal for Carly Pierce today at the 5:58 mark of the second period. Makes it 18-6 Bulldogs. Bulldogs were able to score 9 straight before Pierce broke that streak. So now we're ready to face off. It'll be Jen Rogers at midfield against McEachern for Bedford. We have a substitution here with, I believe, Allison Kiley coming in. Yes, she takes the place of Ray Neal. Off the face-off, McEachern tries to pick up the ball. Can't quite do it. It's still loose. Finally comes up with it in the Exeter end. She pulls away with 2 defenders on her, but shakes them loose and gets it over to Ava Gaudette, who's seeing some playing time. First time today. Behind the net is Courtney Dermody. She picks up some contact. We'll get a restart. 4:48 remaining in the game. Bedford ahead comfortably, 18-6. There's a centering pass to Riley Chu. Still with it. Looking for an outlet. Tries to wait a little too long there. Gets cornered. But draws contact and will be able to get a restart clean. So Chu restarts it. Sends it down to Dermody. Dermody centering pass to 17, Chamberlain Bell, but her shot is broken up, and Bedford, the Exeter Bluehawks recover. Long pass, too far over everybody's head there by Exeter. That was intended for Kirsten Johansson, so that'll be a turnover, and Bedford picks it up. And we have a player down, an injury on the field. I believe that's number 15, Devin Coviello, holding on to her wrist. And the trainers come out and we have a stoppage in runtime here. So we've had 8 straight goals by the Bulldogs to start off the second period here, second half. Coviello's taken off to the sideline. And we will have a restart. Pass into Dermody, who decides to go behind the net. Bedford just content to run the clock down with a 12-goal lead. Centering pass there a little too far for Sabati. Graves tries to pick it up and draw some contact. And will retain possession on the restart. 3:22 left in the contest as we await Graves' restart here for Bedford. Coming up on a 3-minute mark. Ball goes over to McEachran for Bedford. Gets around one defender. Tries to find another open outlet. Sabati over to Dermody. Dermody picks up some contact and will get a restart. So Dermody in front of the net decides to just pass it off to Riley Chu, picks up a goal. 19-6 Bedford. At the 2:28 mark of the second period. Clock is ticking away still. About 2 minutes to go in Exeter season. And Bedford will be punching their ticket to the semifinals in Exeter at Bilbao Stadium against either Souhegan or Nashua South. So after the very first goal of the game, 40 seconds in, by Carly Pierce, it has been all Bedford. Exeter really not having an answer for the attack the Bulldogs are bringing. Off the face-off, Sabati picks it up for Bedford. Draws some contact, and we'll get a restart. 1:30 remaining in the game. The pass intended for Ava Gaudette goes loose, and Exeter comes back the other way now with a chance to maybe cut the lead a little bit, make it more respectable. There's a pass to Pierce, and she gets her 5th goal. Her 2nd of the half, making it 19-7 with 1:09 remaining.
Number 34, Carly Pierce.
So the clock is ticking away. We're under a minute now, 49 seconds remaining. And the face-off with Jen Rogers for Exeter. Loose ball goes over to Ray Neal. Tries to get it up to Pierce. Pierce brings it into the Bedford end. Still with it. Passes off to number 13, Dishart. Now Neal with it again. Looking for a lane. There's a high shot by number 11, Jen Rogers, and scores. So 2 in a row for the Blue Hawks, making it a little more respectable, but only 6 seconds remaining. 5, 4, 3, it's counting down, and the game is over. So Exeter gets the first goal and the last 2, but it's Bedford who comes away with a 19-8 victory here at Bedford Stadium. They advance to the semifinals, where they will take on either Souhegan, the number 2 seed, or number 7, Nashua South, on Saturday at Bilbao Stadium at Exeter. And stay tuned to both Bedford 105.1 and BCTV 23 for more playoff action for your Bedford Bulldogs. I'm Harry Kozlowski. Thanks for tuning in. Final score, Bedford 19, Exeter 8.